But yeah. So like I said, this is the book that I was speaking of yesterday. It is called Blood of Hercules by an author named Jasmine Mas. And I hate this bitch with a fire. Where is that pasta I put in Discord yesterday or the other day, Shino, where it was like, if they have no haters, I am dead? Because that is me with this author. If she has no haters, I am dead. Holy shit. Okay. So this is partially going to be, I have a sticky note and everything, y'all. Maximum effort came from me, okay? I do not half-ass. Y'all are going to, I have a slide completely dedicated to what I'm about to say, so I'm going to let it rip, all right? So this is the general TLDR right here, okay? I started reading this book on December 11th of last year, okay? I said, I just need to know if it's as bad as it looks. I finished it on the morning of December 12th. This is a book that has like, I think 400-ish pages. And it is still the only book shelved under the shelf, My 13th Reason. This is the only book that is in that shelf, that tag category, My 13th Reason. So do with that information what you will. All right, let's go. All right. First of all, this review is not spoiler free. You are about to witness what it means to go D1 in professional hating, okay? If you are the author of this book, I am begging you to put this goddamn laptop down. There is a sequel coming out in October. Yes, I will be hate reading, and yes, I will make another fucking PowerPoint. Don't even fucking play. Because I'm a professional hater. I take my hating seriously. And before we continue, my credentials, all right? Last year alone, I read almost 160 books, all right? You see that shit? I read almost 160 books. That is why I'm allowed to talk all this shit. I am a self-proclaimed connoisseur of shit taste. I know my taste is bad, but what sets me apart from the people who are rating this 5 fucking stars is that I am self-aware, okay? I like fantasy. I like romance. And fantasy romance. Also smut. The Venn diagram is a circle, okay? Despite everything, despite reading almost 160 books in 2024, this is only one of 3 books that I rated 1 star, okay? I shit you not, I rated a romance novel that had cheating as its main plot point, 2 stars. Because it was at least better written than this slop. Like 100%. That is where I was at with this fucking book. A book that had cheating in it was higher rated than this tomfoolery. It was genuinely fucking insane. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with like booktok terminology, I guess, I see this... okay, first of all, I don't get on booktok. I'm going to upload this VOD to YouTube, and I'm not that much of an asshole, so I'm not going to tag the author in it, but I am going to put her name in the title. I do not give a fuck, all right? If she sees it, it's in God's hands. Don't be offended by what an anime girl has to say, all right? Or be offended and stop writing. I pray. So if you're unfamiliar with the term DNF, it means did not finish, okay? That's what people say or like shelve their books as, like tagged, when a book is just so bad they can't fucking finish it. However, we do not do that here. That's called skill issue. And I am far too competitive to let a book win. I am no poser. I am not a hobbyist. Like I said, I am a D1 hater, and D1 haters know everything about the shit they hate. I'm a hater for the love of the game, baby. You will never catch me lacking. All right? Now, why did I read this shit? Why? Why would I put myself through such tomfoolery? A fucking tweet. Like all good things, a fucking tweet. Okay? I saw this stupid shit on twitter.com, and I was like, there's shrimply no way. There's shrimply no way they cut down trees in the Amazon rainforest and printed this slop. right on top of them. There's no way. Okay, so let's read the blurb on the back of the book. This is what is supposed to hook you in, okay? This is what people read to decide they want to read your book or not. Okay? First of all, I'm just a girl. Same. And as it turns out, I'm Hercules. I'm struggling to survive in a Titan-infested world where Spartans, immortals from the 12 royal families who have godlike powers and obscene wealth, rule over all. A shy, stammering foster child with nothing. I keep my head down, cover my scars, and focus on excelling in school. At least I try to. And then it happens. My blood test reveals I'm part of the powerful elite. I'm one of them. A Spartan. That's crazy. Love that for you. Forced to attend the Spartan War Academy, I undergo the most harrowing test of all time to see if I have what it takes to be an immortal. There's just a few problems. Achilles and Patroclus are my scary mentors. Charon, the ferryman of death, and Augustus, the son of war, are my terrifying professors, and I'm pretty sure either somebody's stalking me everywhere I go or my sanity's slipping. I have a bad feeling both are true. Girl, the sanity was never in the room. Like, the sanity not in the room with us right now. I'm surrounded by villains, and they're smothering me with their hate, obsession, and dark possessiveness. Too bad for them, they have no clue just who they're messing with. Okay, if you guys could, like, choose a genre that's not, like, fantasy or romance or, you know, what have you, like, the big bullet points for this, what would you categorize it as, right? For me, it would be YA literature, young adult. Can I get a yes, a yay, a nay? What would you guys give this? Like, just reading that, would you think this is YA? Definitely, exactly. I'm glad I'm not the psycho here. Alt history fiction, brother, it is so very beyond alt history. It's borderline, like, actually made up. Like, it's all fake. It's all just fake. Zolly, I think you're going to be pissed if you like anything about Greek mythology. But the second follow-up tweet for this was this funny-ass stat sheet, okay, that is what caught a lot of people's attention because it made a lot of people believe that this was, like, lit RPG. And I fear it's somehow worse, okay? So you know how, like, smut is, like, a woman's genre, erotica, things like that? It's, like, for the woman's gaze. Somebody said that lit RPG is smut for men because it's just a narcissistic power fantasy. And actually so true. But this is, like, somehow worse than that. It's genuinely very insane. It is so very insane. It's crazy. So you can see this right here. Lit RPG is basically Western isekai. Essentially, it is. But this is not lit RPG. It's not. I wish it was. I genuinely wish it was. So we'll go over the stat sheet again because I have both. There's two that popped up in this book within, like, pages of each other. So we'll go over those in a second. Let's move on. So I looked at some reviews before I decided I want to read this. And I was just like, holy shit, these are so fucking funny. There's no way, like, it's that bad. Like, Curiosity did, in fact, kill the cat, tagged as absolutely hate. Like, honestly, banger fucking review. Love that for you. And then all the jokes fell flat. There's only so many dark humor, I want to die jokes that you can get away with before it becomes plain annoying. TikTok brain rot is evident in every single chapter, and some very real lines. What in the fuckity fucker is wrong with you? That took my ass out instantaneously. I was like, I gotta read this. They're hamming it up. And then, I knew you had it in you, bestie. Pussy power crushed the patriarchy. I feel like I would hear that if I was in a room with, like, two 11-year-olds who just discovered feminism for the first time. Like, and it came from, like, a YouTube video. Like, I don't know how to, like, fucking describe what this, like, makes me think of all the time. And then naturally there's cunt, absolute cunt served. which is like insanely how do you do, fellow kids? Like, this is, I'm pretty sure this woman is my age, which upsets me greatly. Because it means she was born in the year either 1996 or 1997, depends on when she updated the bio on her website. Like, I want to scream. I want to scream. I do. I want to very much scream. This one is a bestseller, or was it the Psycho Shifter one that got her on the New York Times list? I think both. But she doesn't advertise herself as a New York Times bestseller. She advertises herself as an Amazon.com best-selling author or some shit like that. And I'm like, that's worse. I think you can sell like 10 copies through Kindle and be an Amazon.com bestseller. So, like I said, I was just like, it can't be that bad. I bought the book on Amazon, $13, by the way. Shit was not on Kindle Unlimited. Fucking appalling. So this shit was a crime. And I'm greeted immediately off rip. Page 1. She has a degree in ancient Greco-Roman classical studies from Georgetown U. Okay. And she's a former lawyer. Okay. She's a fucking lawyer? This bitch has a law degree? Holy fuck. Okay, so here's the bio that's on her website. It says, hi, I'm Jasmine Mas. I love writing dark, enemies to lovers, romantasy books, which I don't fuck with that term. I'm being honest. I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily fuck with it because I view romantic fantasy and fantasy romance as two different genres. And that's just because I'm psychotic in the head, okay? And it's all about the adjectives, all right? So fantasy romance is a book where the fantasy aspect enhances the romance of the plot. So the main plot is going to be the romance, the male and the female lead getting together in the end, but there are fantasy elements to the story. Like, I don't know, like bullshit like time travel. It's set in, you know, fucking 1652. There's witches and wizards and a goddamn mage tower and fucking Gandalf, you know, and shit like that. Whereas, like, romantic fantasy, the entire bulk of the book is set on the fantasy aspect, so the world building, and it's more leaned towards that, but there is an underlying subplot of romance. Like, there is going to be a, like, romance in it, but it is not going to be the full focus of the book. Did she finish her classical studies degree? Did the field hockey give her brain damage? Dude, you would think so. You would think so. It feels like genuine fucking brain damage. But, like, see right here, I'm 27 years old. She is my age, y'all. She is my fucking age. She lives with her husband and cat in Florida, which love that for her. We love cats in this house. When I'm not writing, I spend all my time reading Harry Potter fan fiction on AO3, the best website ever created. Unfortunately, Tom Riddle has me in a chokehold. All right, now first of all, it was bad enough that she outed herself as a Harry Potter adult, but you can tell she's not about that life because she put A03, okay? Not the letter O, as in Oscar 3, okay? She put A03. She is not in it for the love of the fucking game. A03. Yes, she's, like, actually, I hate to be that bitch. I truly hate to be that bitch, but she sounds like a fucking poser. Like, she sounds like a fucking poser, does she not? So it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But yeah, she majored in ancient classical studies, which she didn't put Greco-Roman on her website. I wonder why. Very curious. But that's entirely what I'm going to focus on. So let's put a marker in that one. Focus on the Greco bit and the Greco-Roman as we dive into the overarching lore of this novel, okay? But also this was incredibly funny. Based on this book, if the author ends up being your lawyer, she does have a law degree, you're going to jail. I saw this shit today and I laughed for like 3 minutes straight. Genuinely, it was the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life. Dog, I'm going to jail. I will never have her represent me in the court of law. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. This book is an urban fantasy, meaning it has fantasy elements like magic and gods in the flesh and such, but it's in an urban setting. I think the year is like 2100 or some bullshit like that. Much longer than we're actually going to be living on this earth. Like, let's just keep it 500% on the stream. I would never lie to y'all. We're all dying by 2090. Like, this is not going to happen. It starts in the good old US of A. And as art imitates life, it is a fucked up Diet Dr. Hunger Games style dystopia, okay? Not in the same sense that they send all their 12-year-olds to scrap to the death, just in the sense that every adult in this novel is like actually a piece of shit. So do with that information what you will. I've got some excerpts that are very real in this novel that are like my citations. I got citations up in this hoe. Like a true college student. Is it low fantasy? It gets me feeling pretty low. It is insanely low fantasy. The low as in the bar is in hell for me, and it was still not met. Like, genuinely, she somehow shimmied her way under it. It truly insane. So Greece does not exist in this novel. I don't know how to explain why, because I don't have a reason for you. Because she mentions, like, Greece once and, like, her shitty exposition in the beginning, and then, like, never again. So, which is crazy, because despite, you know, her using all of the, like, Greek pronunciations for the gods, like, sans Hercules, which is, like, Hercules in Latin, or, yeah, the Roman pronunciation is Hercules, whereas the Greek one is Heracles. Greece just don't be anywhere on the map. Like, just yeeted, I guess. Like, it's Greek erasure, actually. If there are any Greek people that watch this, find her address. All I'm saying. Because she's out to get y'all. She's out to wipe y'all off the fucking map. Also, for some fucking reason, these dumb fucks resurrected Latin for their SAT. Like, literally, you're not gaslighting me into believing that you resurrected Latin. Like, we're just not there yet. We're not at that level of delusion. But, like, for real, Greece does not exist. Like, they literally, like, go to Italy. They go to Rome or what have you. No clue. It's slightly wiped from my memory, and I, like, actually, like, speed reread this book today. So I made sure I had everything that I wanted to, like, put in here. So it was kind of like, yeah, I remember you mentioning that not even the ancient Romans spoke Latin. Latin was for the plebs. Latin was a poor man's language, which feels so on brand that she uses Latin. Of all things, because it's so fucking forehead, you know what I mean? Like, using Latin to sound like fucking smart and shit because it's a fucking dead language, but, like, you just sound fucking stupid. Like, you put all these, like, stupid ass, like, little Latin quotes and shit that come from these ugly ass dusty books to make yourself sound smart, but you just, like, actually look like the bigger idiot in the room. It's insane. It truly is. How do you have a law degree? Weird. The main character, who is Alexis, Hercules, this was on the back of the book, not a spoiler, is essentially Harry Potter. In the sense that, like, she's the chosen one. And that tracks because the author is a Harry Potter adult, and that might be arguably worse than, like, a Disney adult. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain how I'm feeling about this one. Because, like, my sister's a Disney adult, and she's very bad, but, like, Harry Potter adults? Oh, brother. You seen the bitch who wrote them books? And you're still with it? Like, she got mold on her walls and brainworms and shit. But, oh yeah, the author does mention Greece once in the prologue. And I quote, it says, "Eons before humanity was born, the state of Sparta was spread across thousands of islands in modern-day Greece." I'm like, no, it wasn't, actually. Like, not only was it not spread across thousands of islands, this bitch does not know about Pangea, and that's all in the first book. That's, like, all in the first sentence of this book. Like, this bitch does not know about Pangea. So, do with that I don't know how many people like actually really like fuck with geography and like ancient Greece and shit like that, but like I think it just gets worse from here. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Alexis, our main character, Miss Hercules. Like I said, she's Harry Potter, and that's kind of all there is to it. She's kind of like a Mary Sue. There's genuinely nothing special about her, and I don't say that lightly because I don't like hating women, because it makes me feel like a man, and I don't like that feeling, okay? But holy shit, how is it that this woman made me hate a woman? Like, she could have killed somebody off rip in the book, and I would be like, oh, queen, I get it, I understand. It's tough out here in these streets, but she couldn't even do me that. She, like, just made the most insufferable woman to, like, ever exist. And all of her female characters in this book are like that. I don't know if any of her, like, other characters in her, like, shitty, like, werewolf smut books are the same way, because this is genuinely the only thing I've ever read by this author. But it's kind of insane. It's genuinely like a Harry Potter copy pasta almost. And I get it. She wants to be that girly. She wants her, like, Harry Potter version almost, but, like, with a female lead. And I can see her as probably the first in line at Target when Alchemized comes out. Like, she's going to be at Target 6 a.m. before the doors open at 8, like, just waiting to cop that book right off the shelf. And for those unaware, Alchemized is a novel that is fixing to be released that was previously a Harry Potter fanfic under the name Manacled. It was a Draco and Hermione one, by the way. It was picked up by a traditional publishing house and had the contents all mixed up, so that way it didn't infringe on IP. And it's kind of in the same vein that 50 Shades of Grey used to be a Twilight fan fiction before white women in their mid-40s found it. Yeah, I would say mid-40s. I don't think I've met anybody under 40 that's read 50 Shades of Grey. So I haven't even read 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not there yet. I've got 12 more years. So actually, if we're going mid-40s, I would say 17. So I'm in the clear for quite some time. I'm imagining ancient Spartans just living on 0.1 square kilometer islands in Greece, and there are thousands of those. Yeah. It's bad. She's, like, just making shit up, bro. Like, let's see. So she describes the politics of the ye olden days as this oligarchic federation. Whatever that means. And none of that feels correct. These feel like two words that shouldn't necessarily be together in a sentence, much less, like, altering each other. You know what I mean? It's so weird. And at that time, it was just the gods chilling. They were vibing. They loved their lives. They, smoked their little god crack, and they had no things such as greed, or they didn't want for nothing. And then the humans came, and naturally humans are evil, bad little demons, and they fucked everything up. Okay, these gods can no longer drink their pina coladas and take walks in the rain. The humans are here because the aliens brought them, and they were like, points, you're my god now. What the fuck? And the gods were like, okay, let's all go to Italy to hang out. It's like, okay. So she was like, that's how the Roman Empire was born. I was like, holy fucking shit, you were about to pick, like, any man that picks up this book, any white man that picks up this book is gonna, like, be immediately driven insane by, like, that entire part. Like, how dare you disrespect the Roman Empire on sacred soil? How did the humans beat the gods? Dude, nobody fucking knows. Like, she doesn't really explain it. Like, literally, it was just, like, the humans just were, like, mean. They were like, fuck you, Zeus, in particular, you little bitch. And Zeus was like, oh my god, it's just like Judas. So they were like, skirt, and then broke their ankles and just disappeared like the Mayans, except the Mayans like actually committed to the bit, but the gods here are pussies. So they ended up coming back at some point. However, before they left, like the spiteful cunts they were, they burned the boats. They lit the Library of Alexandria up, and then they were like, skirt. That's the fall of Rome. -1 Roman Empire, baby. And then they moved like 30 miles upstream. Like, literally. They said they moved from, like, Rome to northern Italy. I was like, okay, so, like, are we talking, like, Florence or, like, Tuscany? Like, what region are we going for right now? She doesn't specify. She just says northern Italy. Like, they literally went, like, 30 minutes up boat. And so they're, like, just still neighbors. They're, like, still neighbors with the humans. But, like, they burned everything regardless. They said, fuck it, we ball. It's kind of crazy. And I wish I was lying, but all of this information was dumped in a prologue chapter. There were 3 prologue chapters. This was all dumped in one of those. Like, we have not even hit chapter 1 yet. Holy fuck. So the last bit of lore in this story that she gives you in the prologue is of the houses. And this is kind of where it felt insane. I guess the library was in Rome is what she was getting at. I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like, there's a lot of information that she put in this exposition and then never expanded on anywhere else in the book. Like, she just regurgitated everything that was in the exposition. Like, she put in 0 thought to anything else. Like, if somebody proofread this book, like, if she had a beta reader or an editor or a QAer or any, like, living, breathing human that had more than 2 brain cells to rub together to create a full thought, I think they would have caught this. Or any of it. Or perhaps burned it before it hit, you know, production and wasted all of the fine trees that this was printed on. Alas, we could never be so lucky. So, the Roman Empire is dead, and it's all thanks to Jasmine Mas. RIP. I hate her. I hate her so bad. I can't wait to tell my mom about this again. Because I'm pretty sure she forgot about it, which means I can tell her about it again and piss her off. Because my mom's a history major. And my mom is actually that brand of, like, you know, yeah, mental, where she learned Latin, okay? She did learn Latin in high school. And I told her about this, and she was so fucking upset with me, and I'm going to tell her again, just because I fucking love doing this to her. In the beta reader's defense, if I was beta reading this, I'd have no idea where to start, be stun locked into silence. Honestly, section was so bad when you showed it to me. It was awful. It was fucking horrendous. So let me show you guys the houses that she talks about throughout the books. So there's like 2 main like houses. These are like 2 factions. You have the chthonic houses, and then you have the Olympic houses, which I'm just going to gloss over everything that's wrong with it and just show you, like, the trees and shit that she did. Fuck, where's the book? Oh, here we go. Wait. I made this. This is a good one. So, the chthonic houses have supposedly been there since the dawn of time, okay? They were, the people who were born into the chthonic houses have powers to inflict pain. Oh, and they all have, like, these blood red eyes because XD, they're evil baddies. All they can do is use their powers to torture people and inflict pain and shit like that. It is like, holy shit, dude. This, like, weak-ass writing is gonna send me into a coma. And then you have the Olympic houses who, like, rise and fall as the time goes on because they're, like, just filled with half-breeds, I guess. So their special talents are sowing their wild oats, beefing up at the gym, and probably a little bit of astrology mixed in there. Because that's all she really had to say about them. Is, like, they have nothing special besides the fact that they can get, like, pretty strong. They lift weights and shit. And then, like, they spend a lot of time reading books, but I think they're all astrology girlies. For the chthonic houses, dude, that's kind of true because, like, they're the only, like, cool ones. The Olympic houses, they're all filled with kind of dickheads. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're all fucking dickheads. Half the Olympic gods were also chthonic gods. For example, Hermes and Zeus. I cannot wait to show you. I cannot wait to show you this stupid bullshit. This is so insane. So here we go. These are the 12 houses of Sparta. The Olympian houses are the house of Zeus, the house of Hera, the house of Athena, the house of Hermes, the house of Poseidon, house of Demeter, the house of Apollo, and house of Dionysus. Okay? Half of these. Deadass, like half of these overlap, but we won't talk about it. Then you have the chthonic houses, okay? Ares, Hades, Artemis, and Aphrodite. But let's take a look at this tree, okay? Like, this is honestly just so fucking funny as a white woman who had a Greek mythology phase in her teens, because, like, it was just so fucked up. I cried laughing the first time I saw it. Like, I don't want to talk about how, like, the only virgin goddess has her own little reverse harem. I mean, good for you, queen. Get that dick. But, like, holy shit. I thought you were, like, you know, standing for something here. Like, I thought we had, like, a moment. We were protesting, you know? But no, this is what we get. So you get your, I think you can see my cursor, yeah. So you've got your House of Artemis. She be fucking, who the fuck is Gorgon, dude? Holy shit. They have Medusa, which if you see the little key guide right here, Medusa's in jail. Jailed for snake crimes, dude. And then she also had Charon, a son, who is the heir to her house. And then you've got the house of Aphrodite, who be fucking Ares, and their heir, or the heiress for House of Aphrodite is Helen, the most normal ass fucking name in this list. And then she fucked a human, and that's Patro. And according to our guide right here, he's a male mutt. I don't know why the male mutt symbol is a fucking unicorn or some shit. What is this, a Pegasus? Little bitch with wings? Yeah. So that's what we got going on. Then we have Hades, who's Hades and Persephone, probably the only thing that's correct in this entire list. The only thing that's fucking correct. They have a kid, but it's dead. Gasp. And then the House of Ares, which is Ares and a human woman, which had Achilles, and then Ares and Aphrodite, which had Augustus, their heir. That's what we're working with right now. None of it is good. None of it is fucking good, bro. Like, I wanted to scream when I saw this. I was like, oh, wow, you know, a little chart. I love this. And then I, like, started reading, and, like, my face, like, progressively fell. I was like, wait, I thought she, like, majored in this. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest, like, when I read, like, histomyth, especially when it's, like, obviously, like, fictional, like, fantasy stuff, and it's just, like, you know, histomyth sprinkled in as a treat, I don't expect perfection in any of the stories. Like, maybe a somewhat faithful rendition with, like, creative liberties, depending on, like, the story the author was trying to convey, or, like, whatever world they were trying to build. I'm still in the process of figuring out what either of those are. So if any of y'all can piece this together with me, that would be mint. So let's go on to chapter 1. Oh, wait. I've got some more lore that preludes into chapter 1. I forgot. The prologue was so long. I wrote a lot about the lore I didn't put in the screenshots. We'll come back to this. Hold on. So these houses, they beefed for a while. For whatever reason, they fucking beefed for a while. Like, with each other. I don't know if it's, like, the humans just getting their evil little grubby human hands. Like, yes, you fuckers will beef. And that's what they did. I thought they, like, loved each other and they lived in peace. But for whatever reason, in the year 2050, the Fire Nation attacked. And, like, they beefed internally with each other as gods. And then they also beefed with titans that were roaming the earth and then eating people and shit. But somehow, despite, like, not being shit, like, not having supernatural, like, giga cool powers, busted OP nonsense, the Olympian houses came on top. Like, Don't know how that happens. Like, against the literal baddies with blood red eyes and torture powers. It's giving stop the count. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like something's not right here. But alas, even though the Olympic houses killed every fucking child that they had up until then from the Chthonic houses, they signed this weird ass armistice agreement that was just like, Lamau, fuck y'all, even though all your kids are dead, any kids you have from here on out will be assigned to killing the Titans. They're on Titan killing duty, bitch. Welcome to the Survey Corps. I'm like, what the fuck? George W. Bush? Holy shit. So that's like, none of this makes sense. You know what I mean? And then I think my favorite part was the end of one of the prologue chapters where it was like this fucking like seer, future seeing bitch lady who literally said something like, Kronos save us in relation to the Titans. And I'm like, holy fuck. Y'all, Kronos was a Titan. He was like their leader and shit. Like, am I capping right now? I'm pretty sure he was like their leader and shit. Why are you praying to him? I fear he will not be answering the phone. I don't get it. Majored in this shit, BTW. Okay, now let's move on to chapter 1, okay? You get all of this information, you know, prior to this, and it's all so bad as well, because when you front load lore and world building into your prologue, it just makes for poor storytelling. Like, your reader is not going to remember any of this information throughout the novel, and will continually have to like flip back and forth between your book to like figure out what the fuck you're talking about when you bring it up in an offhand comment or whatever, because they're just not going to remember it. You like literally, this was like the military's version of death by PowerPoint. It was death by exposition. And like, I mean, they go to a fucking Spartan War Academy. Could you not have like done an info dump across like several scenes of a history class or some shit? I've genuinely never read a fantasy book that like chose to shoot me with a shotgun in the fucking face with all of its world building in the first 25 fucking pages, and it was also so fucking boring to read that it left like very little to guess at in the plot itself. Thus, you like don't think about anything besides wanting to get the book the fuck over with. That's how it all felt. And that's where we're at. We dump headfirst into the author's absolute dog shit writing style. Like, this is the first book I've ever read by her, like I said. And I don't know, I guess it's just like her thing. I saw in a review that like somebody said her other female characters are written similarly. And she did say that she likes, like in her little author bio or whatever, she likes writing like sarcastic female leads and shit like that. Pause. None of this was sarcasm. It was just annoying. Like, it was just annoying. Like, I felt like I was reading, like, a diary from a fucking 14-year-old that's, like, going through a phase, you know? And it just, like, made me want to cry. Because none of it was done well. And it was tiring after the first chapter that I wanted to throw my fucking phone at the wall, but it was, like, 1:30 in the morning. So I had to truck on. And she does this with M dashes too. I don't know if you guys see this right here, but it's they look sick. Like, why? That's not how you use an M dash. I refuse to let somebody appropriate my comfort punctuation like this. So, where's the editor at? Missing in action. But chapter 1 is like more exposition, just directly from the main character herself, which just makes her sound more like a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, she literally just regurgitates the same shit, just like in a stupid first-person POV, and she just sounds fucking stupid. Like, she sounds like a little ding-dong. Know if this was on purpose, but there are a couple documents in existence that detail Cronus as the only Titan released from Tartarus to rule over some islands in the Atlantic. Pinar in particular wrote that. Also described Hercules as a man lit. Lit? Okay. And now she's describing Hercules as a woman, dude. We're making shit up in this house, clearly. I don't think there was an editor. As an editor, I don't think there was one either. So here we go. We got chapter 2 and 3 right here. Now, chapter 2, our main character, Alexis, she's like 9 or 10 years old, I think. And the entire thing is just one very long violent scene of child abuse, like inflicted by her foster parents. And she also meets this like weird, like sassy snake that only she can hear and see because it's like an invisible sassy snake. She's the chosen one, by the way, if you didn't know. She's Harry Potter of this book. Something happens later and her foster mother dies after her foster mother beats the shit out of her. And she's like hiding in a bathroom with her invisible sassy snake and her little foster brother, listening to her mother die. And then she does probably the only smart thing the entire book, and she lies when the cops come and say her foster father did it. So her foster father gets arrested. And listen, I'm not saying that this will hold up in the court of law, but I am saying lying was the only smart thing that she did. Like, getting herself out of the situation was the only smart thing that she did. Did she live under the stairs? No, she lived in a cardboard box, actually. It was like a cardboard box, and she used like a t-shirt as a blanket. Her and her brother. Same cardboard box. Not separate cardboard boxes. They lived in the same cardboard box in the corner of like the living room. Like puppies left at a rest stop. Gotta one-up Harry Potter. Exactly, bro. Not like the other Harry Potters, dude. I'm a different Harry Potter. So, yeah. But, I mean, none of the adults here are concerned as to why this 9-year-old is battered to shit. In fact, they are, like, actually pissed that they have to treat her with their super rare but expired Olympian Spartan Advil. Like, they're, like, actually, like, pissed off. Like, look, it says, you should be grateful we're using this at all. The male medic scoffed. The bottle is expired. Otherwise, we'd never waste it on you. Olympian Spartan laboratories take years experimenting and designing to create these miracle drugs. With a name like that? Olympian Spartan laboratories? I mean, they took, like, 2 seconds smashing that John together. I think they could have fucking, like, whipped this shit up in maybe 3.5. But they're not those kinds of gods. They're not gods that do anything good. They're just gods that bitch at each other and then, like, fuck everyone. In, like, several, like, senses of the word. They fucked them over completely. I think I read an age manga similar to this. Dude, don't. It was probably better. I fear. It was probably better. And then chapter 3 is here on the right side. There's a 10-year time skip. It's the worst whiplash I've ever had in my life because literally the opening paragraph is her in high school and she's talking about her classmates doing anal. And also talking to her librarian about what a dick is shaped like. And then also like a little biphobia sprinkled in as a treat. I just like, there was so much going on in these 2 chapters alone. Like literally the first quote I have up there where she's talking about Mozart would have loved this is her and her foster mother screaming at each other as her foster mother beats the shit out of her, like punches her in the fucking face. And she keeps that tone throughout the rest of the thing, like musical references to like her getting her shit, you know, pushed in. And oh my god. But I think my favorite thing did drop. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of any womb. Double platinum on Wattpad when I was 16 immediately. Like, holy shit. If I was like 14 on my phone at like 2 o'clock in the morning, summer break, reading some shitty Wattpad stuff, and that line got dropped, putting that John on Tumblr in an instant. In an instant. In the bio. Everything. Everywhere. Okay? That would have been my life motto for the phase that I was going in. Okay? And I fear that is exactly what happened here. is she also found that shit like on Tumblr. It was like, let me sneaky dink this one in the book. Oh, my Lanta. But this chapter was also where we got the infamous stat sheets that I showed earlier from Twitter. Also, hi, Mino. These bad boys. Holy shit. So let's do a quick gloss over it, okay? So it says statistics flash in neon letters on the right side of the screen. Okay, this is why people thought it was like lit RPG. So it goes over Achilles and Patro. Nicknames for Achilles: the Son of War, the Killer, the Beast of the Crimson Duo. Literally, like, nothing original, dude. Lineage: Father Ares, leader House of Ares, mother human. Wow. Affiliation: Chthonic, 6 feet 7 inches, 290 pounds. Boy's packing, dude. He's fucking packing. What screen? I'll get to that. Oh, just you wait. I will get to that. He was born March 23, 2077. Not in this timeline for sure. Holy shit. I don't think Achilles of our timeline is going to be seeing the light of day, all right? His power is a voice torture ability, details unknown, because he wears a muzzle. They got this dude muzzled like a fucking pit bull. He has an animal protector that's a wolf. Classic, dude. Holy shit. His power ranking is 95 out of 100, which feels very like One Punch Man type shit. Like he's an SS rank fucking hero. So fucking stupid. And he has occupations, okay? More than just killing the baddies. More than just, being a hot piece of ass for the female lead. He is an assembly of death member, which is the little thing that they created, the Olympians created to force the Chthonic to send all their children to kill all the Titans. While the Olympians just sit on their ass and eat grapes and shit. Did she mean a gag? Muzzles are for biting? No, I fear not. And I cannot wait to show you the actual character art I have later. I ripped it right from her Instagram. I have character art. She did not mean a gag. It's an actual fucking muzzle. Holy shit. Okay, he also founded WSDL Weapons Manufacturing with Patro, Augustus, and Karen. He has a net worth of $3 billion. Like... 3 billion what? I mean, I see the US dollar sign right there, but like, what does WSDL stand for? I don't even want to say it out loud because it makes me want to cry because it's like so stupid. It's like so stupid. Let me read the second half and then I'll explain it, okay? So we got Patro. Nicknames: Patro, the son of Sex, the leader of the Crimson Duo, the ideal man, Achilles' handler. I didn't screenshot it, but right above this, it said the only man with the key to Achilles' muzzle. I was like, what the fuck? There's a key in that hoe? I thought it was just a belt. Like, can't he take this shit off himself? His mother is Aphrodite, leader of House Aphrodite. His dad's a human, weak sauce. He's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's kind of packing too, but he's a little tinier. Born August 23, 2078. His power is mental, details unknown, and I fear he has the power to inflict mental illness upon me. Because that's exactly what happened after reading this. I got put on a new medication. Holy shit. Power ranking: insufficient data. One Punch Man reference. Okay. His animal protector is a Nemean jaguar. And Zolly, you mentioned this yesterday. Isn't there only one of them hoes? Like, it's not like a race or like a breed of jaguar. It's just like the only one from the area. I hate her for doing this to Patra. Yeah. Yeah. His occupations are also an assembly of death member, founded the WSDL, and then he's got a net worth of $3.5 billion. I don't know what gave him the extra, 500 there over Achilles. IDK. I think it's because maybe Augustus, it's like his brother or whatever, Maybe they share a little bit of money, you know? A little bit of family money laundering. You mean like there are no jaguars in Greece? Jaguars are from the New World? Listen. Urban fantasy. Urban fantasy. The fantasy is the Nemean jaguars we made up along the way. Okay, now let me tell y'all what WSDL stands for. And we get a glimpse of this later on in a very real excerpt I screenshotted because it also made me cry because it made this dude sound like a fucking loser. And they all sound like fucking losers. So WSDL stands for War, Sex, Death, and Lies, which is supposed to be an acronym for all four of them. And it's just so fucking lame. I've never hated men more than I hate these men in my life. They just sound like fucking losers. How could she do this to like two of the most like gassed up bisexual kings in histomyth? Why? Holy fuck. Oh my god, it's insane. But honestly, the biggest sin out of the entire fucking book so far, and we're not even 5% of the way in, by the way. This is chapter 3. We're not even 5% of the way in of the book, is that in a goddamn urban fantasy set in the year 2100 whatever, with literal gods with superpowers and titans eating people and shit, these dumb fucks kill the baddies with guns. They kill them with fucking guns, bro. And it's not just like any kind of gun, like a fucking, you know, laser gun from fucking Black Ops Zombies that you get from the little loot box and shit. It's not that. No, it's a Glock, dude. It's a Glock, but it's like a golden Glock. Bro fucking farmed. He went top 500 3 seasons in a row on Overwatch 2. Killing Titans isn't a goddamn job. It's a fucking Fortnite Battle Pass daily. I almost stroked the fuck out when I read this. I was like, there's simply no way bro's got a golden desert eagle. Like, off rip. A golden desert eagle? There's no fucking way. Not even bang, bang, bang. Dude, not even plek, dude. Not even that. We had to do, like, pop, 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 pop. Like a fucking pea shooter. Like, bro... Oh my god, dude. He just... Look at how she massacred my boy. Like... It's so bad, dude. It's so fucking bad. Alright, whatever. Fuck it. Let's move on. So she takes her silly little Spartan SAT. And... Which, by the way, the written section is all in Latin. She has to do it all in Latin. And I swear to God, this was, like, the stupidest bit... Because, like, what the fuck do you mean that they need to learn Latin, like, 17 centuries after it went totally extinct? Like, who the fuck is keeping this shit alive? Like, it's not the gods, bro. Like, and it's defo not the fucking... I think she starts in this book in, like, fucking Minnesota or Michigan or some stupid shit like that. Like, she lives in a trailer park in Michigan. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This hoe did not learn Latin. Like, stop lying to me. But, like... After all of that and the insufferable inner monologue, she, I gotta get some positive mental attitude up in this hoe. She, fucking finds out that she's a Spartan because she has to put, like, her blood, like, on a stamp on it. And she finds out she's a Spartan because it comes back, like, blood colored or some shit like that. It was like genuinely loser shit, like fucking putting your blood in a vial and it turns like blue and oh my god, you're Jesus Christ or something, like turning the water into wine. And that's how she finds out she's a Spartan, and that's how they find out all the Spartan like half-breed kids from around the world. Why do they have SATs in the first place? Oh, because they have like actual colleges and shit. Naturally, we can't escape the college from fucking the urban fantasy. She's trying to change her circumstances. So she goes from shitty life in podunk trailer park in wherever the fuck Midwest to whatever bumfuck, you know, community college she's trying to get into or some shit like that. I think she's trying to get into like some giga cool college or whatever because, like I said, she's a Mary Sue, so she is very, very high IQ. She's a little Einstein, essentially. And there's this ongoing bit that the author writes in that the protagonist, Alexis, writes fan fiction of two dead mathematicians. And it was so fucking annoying to read about because it just further, like, feeds into the, like, I'm not like other girls. You know what I mean? I'm not like other girls, okay? All my peers are going out drinking and, you know, smoking and doing anal, but me, I'm on AO3 writing fan fiction about dead mathematicians. Like, are you fucking stupid? Because that's the vibe that I'm getting. So, here's some of that, essentially. Like, I focused desperately on finishing my essay on the physics of quantum mechanics. The answer had to be written in Latin. Like, shut the fuck up. You are lying. She is not writing about fucking quantum physics in fucking Latin. These hoes didn't even know what quantum physics were. Like, what do you mean? That shit didn't exist, dude. They barely knew the earth was round. Oh my god. And then here's the part that I was talking about. Taking the sheet from her, I picked up the small finger prick device we'd been given and jammed it down my finger. Blood spurted out. Oh, sweetie, the teacher gasped. Be gentle with yourself. I barely felt it. She's not like other girls, guys. She is not like other girls. She's battle-hardened, okay? Zero emotions from her life, you know, living in a cardboard box in a trailer park in the Midwest. She's battle-hardened. She writes fan fiction about dead mathematicians and equates her getting her shit kicked in by an adult figure to Mozart. So let her have this one. I'll let her have this one. And then, oh yeah, one mercenary made eye contact with me. He looked away first. Men always did. They like to pretend otherwise, but my different colored eyes freaked them out. Extremely not like the other girls, okay? She's got heterochromia. But, like, I failed to mention this. At the end of chapter 3, when she got her... Wait, was it chapter 3? Chapter 2. When she got her shit kicked in... Fuck you, stroking out. She got her shit kicked in by her mom. And she, like, went blind and deaf in, like, half of her face. Like, her left or her right side. She went completely blind, so it's, like, the glassy look. And then, like, completely deaf in that ear as well. So... yeah, she got to have a little something about her, you know, that makes her ugly, despite the art that I've seen of her. Make her look like, you know, Miss Universe, naturally, just with a glossed over eye. Where did the author get her original ideas? I fear she pulled them directly out of her ass. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink of Dr. Pepper because I can't function properly right now. Okay, so, oh, this was another banger from this chapter. So a teacher shot a kid's dick off. I don't know why or how that came to be, but like literally she just like threw that in there, that she shot him in the dick and then like refused to elaborate. I was like, oh, okay. So that's just what we do here. Shot him in the penis, right down the dick hole, dude. Just fucking point blank. Right down the dick hole. And so this is where we find out she's a Spartan. And so she gets, you know, shipped off to Italy. She gets her ass shipped off to Italy. Oh, she gets put in the Spartan Hunger Games. They put her ass in a coliseum. Okay, there are like 50 kids there. They're all like half-breed Spartan mutts. In a coliseum, finna do the Spartan Hunger Games. Okay. So she's got to lock in her top 10 spot to participate in the super cool Spartan War Academy. So it's going down in Tomato Town. But the one thing that I did not understand is that in the beginning, like in the prologue, she talks about, like the author talks about how the Olympian and chthonic houses have trouble reproducing after they slaughter each other's kids. So you've got Zeus, this motherfucker, going on holiday all around the world to sow his wild oats with humans to create more half-breeds and pump them numbers up. But, like, what the fuck is the point of all that when you're sending them into the Coliseum at 18 just to see who comes out with the #1 victory royale? Like, does that not defeat the purpose of fucking bitches? Like, am I stupid here? Is there something I'm not tracking? Because, like, quite literally, the justification that Zeus himself gave was that they won't let you be immortal because there's no stupid Spartan. So you can't have that shit for free. Like, this is pull yourself up by your bootstraps from Zeus. And, like, am I the stupid one? Be honest. Like, does this make sense? Like, does this make sense? I just don't know. So, naturally, somehow she makes it through by the grace of God. The tough Spartan education did contribute to their downfall historically. I mean, yeah, but like, when you're actively trying to pump your numbers up still, like, and like, why would you retain such stupidity into the modern world? Like, you are quite literally in the year 2100 or some shit. Like, do you not learn from your mistakes? I don't know. But here's a very real excerpt that I wish I never read in my life. I was half naked, covered in scraps and streaks of sand, but I couldn't find the energy to care. Free the nipple and the lips, parentheses, vaginal, question mark. So I hope you all think about that tonight, because I've thought about it for 2 months. And I enjoyed 0 seconds of it. 0 seconds of it. I enjoyed... Oh my god, dude. And 5 stars, mind you. This is a 4.05 average rating on Goodreads. Whose parentheses are those? I think it's supposed to be... This is what the author does. She uses a lot of parentheses to, like, denote sarcasm or, like, stupid inner thoughts of the protagonist. But it's all bad. It's all fucking stupid. It's all unnecessary. I would like to unhear that. Trust me, I missed the person I was before I read that sentence 2 months ago. I really do. I really do. It was not a note I added. No, the note I added, in fact, was I deluded myself into thinking that the reviewers on Goodreads were lying about this. I thought this was not a real quote. I thought they were hamming it up. Alas. Alas. And then another banger was from The Snake. It says, that man is not well. You can see it in his eyes. He wants to devour you violently. And honestly, if that was written in any other novel, I would have ate that shit up. I would have ate that shit up. I'm going to keep it real. If it was in any other novel, I would have ate that shit up. Alas, 'twas in this novel. No, I'm good. I'm good. Keep that one away. Keep that one away. Stranger danger, okay? Let's see. And then next, here's more of the author's awful writing. Like, why the M dash? The Olympian houses have all had, M dash, difficulties with their progeny's strength after the Great War. Like, why? What's the purpose? What's the fucking purpose? And then the only women chthonics are heirs, he said vehemently. A half-human female chthonic is literally impossible. Our power would rip you to shreds from the inside out. It would tear you into pathetic pieces and boil your womb. You can't even fathom what we feel. That came from Patro, I think. And I was just like... I'm killing you with lasers in my mind at the moment. Like, I'm killing you with lasers in my mind. Like, how dare you? How dare she write my boy like this? But she survived her gulag and was assigned a mentor. I should say mentors, plural, because she got two. She got Achilles and Patro, as the back of the book said. And they fucking hate her, Exhibit A. And they just say mean shit to her for no reason, are equally just as shitty as every other character in this fucking book. But all in the name of enemies to lovers. Hashtag is what this book is supposed to be on about. Not like the other girls and a snake reminds me of a much better work of literature on Manhwa and Ellen called The Golden Hair Summoner. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I think you mentioned that to me. Holy shit. You know? Plagiarism. Run strong. Let me not make any insinuations of plagiarism that's not based on anything sans Harry Potter, okay? Oh, here we go. This is where she talks about her blind eye and deaf ear. Tim Tom once told me that I had the build of a sick giraffe. I'm not sure whether he meant sick in the cool or physically ill sense. Girl, you are emaciated. Do you really need somebody to spell it out for you? She is quite literally skin and bone. She is Skeletor in the fucking flesh. And she thinks somebody thinks she's a cool giraffe? Not an adjective I've heard paired with giraffe. Maybe if it was your favorite animal. Don't think I've heard that one before, but I'll let her have it. I'll let her have it. I'll let her have it. And then the parentheses again. I breathe heavily, asphyxiated. I don't want to talk about it. And concentrated on not committing amicide. Girl. Okay. So chapter 10 was written from the POV of a different character. Karen, which is one of her professors along with Augustus at the Fortnite Academy. And the way the author describes him, describing himself as borderline so fucking cringe, I wanted to cry. And this is coming from somebody who has shedded the shackles of cringe themselves and learned to be free. He and Augustus are also boyfriends, much like Patro and Achilles. Dude goes, I didn't run from my demons. I fed them, and now I was the demon. The Olympians called me many names. Insomniac. Hardly even a rude one. Sociopath, hunter, killer, all of them were true. The only thing I could say was Lamau. That was... The only thing I could say about that was fucking Lamau, dude. And then he goes, the last person I'd felt this drawn to was Augustus. And I just put the rainbow emoji, because that was a little gay, all right? We got a little Pride Month is in 4 months type shit, you know? That was extremely lame. Yeah, it was fucking cringe, dude. This is what I'm talking about. It's like every min is written like such a fucking loser. But it's supposed to be like enemies to lovers. And like, I'm gonna go ape shit. Okay. And I don't even really want to talk about this highlight from chapter 11 because like, it takes genuine skill to make a character this insufferable and gaslight 40,000 people on Goodreads into thinking like she's girl bossing. Like I'm genuinely in a simulation because what the fuck is this? Augustus looked worried. I made a whale sound. He did not make one back. This is why I don't talk to people. They never understand me. Are you fucking 12? Like, are you fucking 12? And mind you, the context for this passage is that she's like on the fucking floor. Like rolling around making whale sounds. Like it is oh God, I can't say this because I'm going to get canceled on the internet for dogging on neo pronouns. Positive mental attitude, positive mental attitude, positive mental attitude. Was she an otherkin? Possibly. Possibly. You might be onto something. She doesn't outright say it, but she does have an animal protector that's like a fucking dog that looks like a Roomba, I think. I don't know. Unclear. She didn't really elaborate on it. And then here in chapter 12, we got his grip tightened. Red ink spelled out liar across his knuckles. There is no fucking way this dude has like knuckle tats like a fucking mid-2000s like scene kid. Like, that's okay. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry you gave birth to this one, but my older brother has knuckle tats. And I just think that's so loser shit. I just think that's so loser shit. I'm sorry to dog on my mom for the guy that she birthed first, but like, something went wrong up there. All I gotta say. Because he got knuckle tats. And I just think that shit is so fucking lame, bro. Like, it's one thing to get a hand tat because my husband has a hand tat, but it's like it's a rune, it's a Norse rune, and it's very small. But like, this is liar across the knuckles, bro. And I'm not certain if it's like both hands or just one. I don't think she elaborated. Because if it's just one that just says like liar and shit, that's so fucking stupid. But if it's two that just says liar, liar, oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, you would not make it a day at a fucking high school in 2024, dude. Holy shit. You would get dogged on. You would actually be like the plot, like for a season of 13 Reasons Why. Because you would have like a suicide note or some shit. Like, sorry. But like, you would get bullied so bad you would actually be fucking dead. I'm more worried how this even got printed by a publishing house. This isn't even an indie print. This is by a company. Ugh, clench his fists. Okay. Nostrils flaring, Patro cracked his knuckles. Mind you, the ones that say liar across them. Genuine question. What in the fuckity fucker is wrong with you? Like, baby girl, please get so serious right now. Please, I'm begging you to get so serious. Because this is, like, insane. It's supposed to be dark romance, right? Enemies to lovers, whatever. So the men are a bit, you know, on the meaner side before they ultimately decide they have an unhealthy obsession with the love interest and kill anybody that comes in contact with them. But, like, you're trying to convince me that these dudes are all badass, super power-wielding, Titan-killing gods, and they out here talking like a 12-year-old saying curse words for the first time? Yes, Patro said that. Like, full stop. Like, full fucking stop. Look at how she massacred my boy. It couldn't get worse. Like, he already had knuckle tats, and then you made him talk like this? Oh my god. Like, don't get me wrong, I love pathetic men, but I've got some standards. My men have to be like Dimitri Fire Emblem Three Houses pathetic. Not talking like what I would hear a fucking 12-year-old say. Like, genuinely. I hate it here. I truly do hate it here. Oh, and then also she says the line again. She says, free the nipple, lips, vaginal, in parentheses, and sirens from sexual servitude. I said it was awful the first time, but why would you say this twice? Yes, she wrote this line in her book twice. The editor said, fuck yeah, full send. I love it. We love this line. This female lead, she's so sassy. She's so, oh my god, so refreshing. She's just so strong. If I could bite my fist and it be well conveyed with my 3D model right now, I would. I can see a character from The Boys talk like that. I can't watch The Boys. It's a little too gross for me. I'm a baby. I watched like one episode where the dude who gets like very tiny goes into the other dude's pee-pee hole. And, or wait, was he in his butthole? I don't know. And then he sneezes and becomes big-sized and then kills that dude by, like, exploding him. And then gets covered in all his, like, shit guts and stuff. I said, maybe this show's not for me. maybe this one's not for me. So, at this point, we are roughly 200-something odd pages into the book, which is great because that means it's, like, getting to the halfway mark. I know, it was not what I was expecting. I expected something entirely different than a dude turning into a fly and rubbing his little body on another dude's prostate and then sneezing and exploding said dude who was getting his prostate rubbed by a little fly man. It was just not... This is not my jam, I gotta say. Okay. So 260 pages in, we finally get a little respite from this shit story in the form of a little blowy scene where Patro sucks off Achilles. I was like, finally, some good fucking food. Yeah, unfortunately, that's all we get. That's it. That's where the good shit ends. Full, just like 3 sentences of like this dude getting sucked off, and that's all we get. And these are some very real lines from these chapters as well. I was staring at his male thigh crotch region like a weirdo. That John is not in Merriam-Webster. If I'd known all of it would be, all it would take was a kneeing him in the crotch, then face, I would have done it ages ago. Also not in Merriam-Webster. And they even have a slang dictionary now, so that one's not in there. Shipped and signed by an editor. Shipped and signed by an editor. Okay. So this is the great part that I've been wanting to talk about for ages now. So since this novel is tagged as reverse harem, it means there are multiple love interests for the woman. It is called Why Choose Reverse Harem. It's a goddamn otome game in a book. So let's talk about them a little bit. Okay, let's talk about them a little bit. Okay. Who would you like naturally think is supposed to be, you know, her lovers, right? Achilles and Patro. Okay. These two are boyfriends, and if I'm keeping it real, I feel like every white woman's introduction into yaoi is like Patro Achilles in their teens. Like stop me if you heard this one before, but I shit you not, like any woman who's like read a BL, like one time they have read some shit that's like Patro Achilles, dude. Why is Patro the top? Well, see, in this, Patro is not the top, but I don't think they be doing like ship names like that anymore. Cause like when I got into like BL and stuff like that, it was the top was the first in the ship name. But now it's kind of just like whatever sounds best. And I'm not going to gatekeep because I get it. Some sound better than others. Whereas like that character would totally not be the top. But who knows? Was it Iliad that implied that Patro was the bottom? Yeah, no, he is the bottom. But I think it's because Achilles has the muzzle, so he could not suck him off in return. Alas. That's all we get from them. Who knows? Maybe when I spend $13 to buy book 2, I can get more lore on their relationship. See if they progressed past the muzzle, the BDSM. But like these guys are mean assholes. Now, I told you earlier that I got art of these characters ripped directly from this author's Instagram, okay? This is 100% her canon, okay? These are what they look like, and I'm not gonna lie, okay? Wood. But like I said, it's a muzzle. It's not a gag, it's a muzzle. So that's what we're working with right here. Does Achilles never talk in the book? No. He uses sign language, actually. They talk via sign language. Which is like, okay, turn up. You know, I get it. Let's get some represent up in here. But like, yeah. He doesn't talk because like his power is like, even a whisper can like implode your fucking mind. So, unfortunate. Can't tell if this is AI. I don't think it is because I found the artist's Instagram and all of her work looks similar to this and pretty well done. Like it doesn't, it's definitely what AI would be trained off of. Like, that's probably why you feel like it looks like AI, is because this is the exact type of art that AI tends to imitate. But yeah, no, he does look Asian. He does look hella Asian. Yeah, it is like Sakimi-chan, yeah. Holy shit. Dude, that's like an ancient pull. I haven't heard of that hoe in years. She uses AI now? That's sad. He also, oh my god, he does look like a Mortal Kombat character. Holy fuck. Damn. Just unoriginal completely. But yeah, like I said, these two boyfriends, mean assholes from what we've seen thus far. They're meant to be her mentors, but like they don't do any like real mentoring. Like they're dead ass MIA throughout most of the book. I think a couple scenes, like they bring her to their little like beach house or whatever and patch up her boo-boos, but like, that's it. They eventually like start cutting her some slack, and they quite literally say it's because she's not like a fucking whore. Like they tell her, you know, we appreciate the fact that you don't come on to either of us, like the rest of these wenches, you know, here, because we're an item, you know. We're a package deal type shit, and all the other whores only want one of them. So they're just like, I expected more, you know? They were on the back of the book, which made it seem like the two of them were going to be her only love interests. And that was what I was expecting, because they were like her mentors. They're supposed to spend a shit ton of page time with her. And then they just like didn't. So I was like, okay, then what else? You know, who else could be? But then like there were little sprinkled tiddly bits of two additional love interests, which is none other than Augustus and Karen. Okay, they're also boyfriends, as we saw earlier, and they're also mean assholes. They're her professors. Augustus teaches a lore class. I don't know if it's supposed to like be something akin to history. And then Karen just like deadass does nothing. Like the only time this guy's like working is when he's chasing these dumb fucking kids down the river in a rowboat while they swim. Like it's a weird ass curriculum, and George W. Bush, you will burn in hell for No Child Left Behind. Like I swear to fucking God. Like I have seen this somewhere in the United States public school system. Like I will no longer elaborate. Okay. But somehow she makes it through. Baby girl does it. And with the power of these four dumb fucks combined, she makes it through Fortnite Academy without dying. Because God knows none of these fuckers weren't going to help her. Along the way, she receives like a lot of like weird ass gifts. Like blankets and sweaters on the normal end, but then also like severed limbs and shit. Like a guy complimented her, like when she started looking less emaciated and, you know, like raggedy as hell, she could take a shower and shit like that. The dudes in her class were like, you know, starting to be like, oh shit, you know, she's, you know, kind of a looker, because naturally, you know, there can't be an ugly, you know, female lead. She can't be totally busted out. And then that guy disappears conveniently, and then suddenly his limbs show up at her doorstep. So romantic. Oh my God, so fucking romantic. I love it. Also in her textbooks, like there were these notes telling her to like get the fuck out of Dodge or she'll die. Naturally, she tells nobody. Continues to live in delusion, which was a true parallel of the reading experience. But why did they stick a real Augustus among these Greek mythological Greek characters? Listen, it's all fake, okay? They're all fake. The longer we live in delusion, the longer we can be happy. And I fear we just have to continue to live in delusion. But she graduates, and they have a little celebratory ball. Wow. She has a sexy little tango with two masked weirdos, because it's not just any ball, mind you, okay? It's a masquerade ball. They all have to wear, like, full face masks. They don't know who each other are. And she gets kidnapped. Shocker. This dumb fuck gets kidnapped. Who is the kidnapper? It's fucking Zeus's son? Question mark. Dude literally had 0 page time in the book, but he was the one sending her notes to like leave or she was gonna fucking die. And he was just like mad because like he thought that she was a spawn of Zeus and he's been killing every half-breed that shows up as like Zeus's spawn. Because he's the heir and he doesn't want any competition. And like literally the only indication that they ever had about Alexis being like potentially Zeus's like kid was the fact that she has one white eye like Zeus does. And like this was coming from like Patro and Achilles, like with her in the room talking about, oh, yeah, maybe you're Zeus's kid because you got a matching eye to his or whatever. She doesn't correct them and just says, no, I'm actually fucking blind in that eye. Like completely, totally. I'm blind. I'm also deaf in the ear too. She lets him run with it. Like, I love spreading misinformation. Like, and that's exactly what she does, is she just lets them fucking run with it. And this is what happens. She gets her ass kidnapped. And so I don't know why, but like all Theros does is fucking tie her up in a barn. Like he literally just like ties her up in a barn, and then also Augustus's sister, I think, Achilles' sister, one of them, one of those hoes. Okay, the one that says cunt, absolute cunt, served, that one. Okay, because they're like besties or some shit. She's there too, and she's the only smart woman because she has a knife on her. Okay. So she's like, oh my God, get my knife. But instead of like getting the knife and like using the knife, she breaks her fucking wrists to get herself out of her restraints. Because she's not like other girls. She's very battle hardened. This means nothing to her. She can have her little limp wristies. Okay. And then she ninja teleports back to the ballroom and beelines for that motherfucker and chokes him out. Which is like the only smart thing she's done this entire book. The only smart thing is choke that motherfucker out, dude. Oh, God. It's so fucking bad, bro. It's so fucking bad. This is kind of like where you find out the plot twist that was written on the back of the book. She loses control and they all find out that, gasp, she's actually chthonic and the believed to be dead daughter of Hades and Persephone, Hercules. All on the back of the book. All on the back of the book. For some fucking reason, she tells everyone that it was Theros that kidnapped her and the other girl. So naturally, he's in hot water, and Zeus is trying to, like, make up for it. So what does this motherfucker do? He offers a marriage alliance. With who? Because it's not the motherfucker we about to send to the guillotine, bruh. It's not him. I know that's for damn sure. And I know you ain't got no other kids because he killed them all. So it's like, where does this guy get off? Classic Zeus behavior. But as it turns out, Alexis is actually already betrothed. Those weird gifts of dismembered body parts and a sweater were proposal gifts. And because she opened the boxes, it means she accepted the proposals. Yes. Plural. 2. Reverse harem. Okay? But like, genuinely, imagine my fucking surprise when I was reading this book and she wasn't proposed to by Patro and Achilles. It was Augustus and Karen. They were the ones that sent those boxes because they mathed it out that she was actually Hercules. And they were like, yoink, I want that hoe. So now she's like forced to marry them because it's like a binding marriage contract that was signed into law like fucking in the year the Fire Nation attacked, I guess. Who the fuck is Theros? That's a great question. That's a great question. I can carry your kid Zeus. So true. But it was just like, there were no signs whatsoever that like Augustus and Karen were really gonna be the ones that she ended up with by the end of this book 1. Like book 2, I could see it, but book 1, like Achilles and Patro were objectively supposed to be closer to her because they were her mentors, despite, you know, being fucking MIA for the entire book. Anyways, they're fucking pissed because they got caught lacking. Okay. That's like literally. And like Alexis is pissed because she didn't see it coming, but like who gives a fuck about her opinion when she didn't see anything coming at all? Like she's so fucking daft. It's insane. Genuinely, like I don't know what these people are on, but like everyone's saying that she's a strong and intelligent female lead. She's fucking stupid. She's actually a fucking idiot. Like despite everything, she couldn't math out that she was like actually chthonic. Besides, like everyone told her like the signs, you know what I mean? Like in passing, they would mention like how chthonic offspring feel their powers or their familiars or whatever else, you know, multiple times throughout the book. So it's not like she didn't know. She just didn't apply it to herself. She was like, oh, there's no way that this weird feeling in my chest, you know, that happens every so often could be my powers manifesting exactly how Patro and Achilles said their powers manifest in the same identical way of a burning in their chest. Or the same when I connected with my familiar, it felt like a burning in my chest. And then they also mentioned when they got their familiars, it felt like a burning in their chest. When like they like clinked their little life links together and shit. Like, okay. It's like she was just being willfully obtuse the entire book. And I hate that. And everybody thinks that she's like so fucking smart. She's not. She's stupid. She's actually a fucking idiot. And I only really got more pissed when you get a chapter from Patro's like point of view, and it's him and Achilles all pissed off together because it wasn't them that she was marrying. And this was like after the marriage ceremony that Alexis had with Augustus and Karen, which was also very weird. Okay. I don't know how to describe this, but like it was a normal marriage up until the point where like everyone could witness the like in a normal marriage ceremony, it's like you may now kiss the bride type shit. But it was like solidifying their marriage with something physical and not necessarily a kiss. And people were allowed to witness it, but obviously, you know, these two possessive alpha males didn't want anybody, so like everyone left besides like Patro and Achilles, who tried to stay, but then they were forced out. I was like, what the fuck? And apparently their physical thing was like literally like finger banging her on the fucking like lectern. Like, I shit you not. I was like, what? Like, huh? Dog, y'all could have just like a little smooch and like take that somewhere else. Like, is that clean? Have they experienced COVID-19? Like, there is shrimply no fucking way. And like, naturally she wasn't a willing participant, which makes it very weird, but like, loud incorrect buzzer. I'm not kink shaming, but I am kink asking why. I'm kink asking to stop, to have them stop. It was just like so fucking weird. And then like just seeing like Patro like get so upset about them not being married to her when they made zero attempt to like actually get to know her outside of what they would get for being her mentor and just making sure she didn't die in the academy. Like, dead ass, this motherfucker said, she'll be ours. And then, like, Achilles signs back to him, she already is. She just doesn't know it yet. Like, oh. I'm killing you with lasers in my mind. I am killing you with lasers in my fucking mind. I am exploding you with my fucking mind. Holy shit. Like, You cannot be serious. Like, you cannot be serious. So, zero chemistry and damn near 400 fucking pages, but like they were apparently in love with her this entire time. And they are going to be making their way into this little mirage next book, I assume. So, which the blurb for that one is, I don't know if it's better or worse than the blurb for the first one. So we'll read that one in a little bit. Published author, by the way. Perfect, Helen squealed. I'm a genius. Everyone's gonna lose it when they see you. She clapped. Cunt. Absolute cunt. Served. Okay. Like, okay. Fluck the flucking world. Life's a biatch like that. Yes, I was in my emo era. Somebody my age wrote this. Somebody in their mid-20s wrote this. And then she goes, freak, fluck, biatch, crud, darn, flippin', shrit. I wailed despondently, but my eyes were bone dry because emo girls didn't cry. I'd cried yesterday. An adult wrote this. An adult wrote this. It's like so, like, how do you do fellow kids? I don't even know, like, how to explain it. Physically an adult, maybe? Correct. And then there was this one bit that happened during, like, the graduation, like, masquerade ball. Her professor comes up to her. We're just like, no, now that we're no longer professor-student, I want to say that and then he gets, like, cut off by one of her masked men that she does the sexy tango which was Augustus and Karen, by the way, if you couldn't piece that one out. Her teacher, bro. Like, her teacher? Like, I know that Augustus and Karen are also her teachers, but, like, this guy? Like, he's mentioned, like, twice, I think. Maybe, if that. Like... And then, this is what I'm talking about right here. The she'll be ours. Achilles' eyes blazed with fire as his fingers moved quickly. She already is. She just doesn't know it yet. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. Oh my God. And you know what? Let me tell you something. During that bit where she comes back from being, like, kidnapped and she, like, ninja teleports back into the ball and shit. And she's got her busted ass broke fucking hands, like, doing her little limp noodle shit and they're all bruised up. Karen comes up to her and he does the classic, like, romance novel, who did this to you? Y'all, I'm just saying, it did not have the desired effect. Like, it did not have the desired effect. Did this to you? The author. Exactly, dude. The author, dude. The author's making me check into the fucking straitjacket room, dude, immediately. That's exactly, like, what any aspect of the book felt like. It was just like, I'm teetering on the brink of madness. So, my thoughts on this novel. We are approaching the end. My thoughts. I was under the severe misconception that going into this book, this was like YA literature. It's not. It's apparently not. It's not even new adult, which kind of would have made me feel better if it was YA or NA, because I would have given it a bit more leeway, you know, with like the TikTok brain rot language and the how do you do fellow kids type shit. But no, this was like a book written by adults for adults. Like this, there was porn in it. This was, all things considered, like smut. Allegedly. Not any good smut that I've ever read. But like, can I even really classify it as smut? Like, it's like a blowy scene and then girlfriend getting finger banged on a lectern. Like, this is just like so... People told me A Court of Thorns and Roses was smut, and that was like the most vanilla shit I've ever read in my life. I actually threw it at the fucking wall. Like, I was just... I can't trust you hoes. That's why I can't trust BookTok. I've got severe trust issues with them because they rate shit like this 5 stars. And then like their book of the year. And then it's on Goodreads as the 2024 Reader's Choice Awards and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Just put that John on Nickelodeon and give it a Teen Choice Award while you're at it. Because that's what it fucking felt like. I was reading a book for fucking teens. And, like, I'm genuinely convinced, like, there's a curse cast upon this novel that has everyone but me in a trance. Like, I broke out of it. It's like the Matrix. I'm out of the simulation, you know? I don't know how I managed to do it, but, like, this is a 1 star on my Goodreads. And, like, I said this in the beginning. I am a connoisseur of shit taste. I like things that are objectively bad, not even, like, subjectively bad. Like, I like things that are fucking shit. My music taste, bad. I listen to K-pop, okay? My book taste, I read a lot of fucking porn. But even I couldn't get behind this? Oh my god, if I think Twilight's a better book? Oh, you are in hot water. You are in hot fucking water. But, like, it's truly, like, the writing style that makes it so fucking bad. Because a little bit of work, and this could have actually been a rather decent, like, fantasy romance that I would have actually tucked into YA. Like, I removed the smut scenes out of it. You could have firmly tucked this into YA. And it would have, like, actually probably, like, been a mild banger. Like, it would have been maybe Hunger Games level. But, like, it's just the author's writing style is so abhorrent. Because, like I showed y'all, it was just, like, the entire book was, like, completely unserious, but serious at the same time. Like, you have this bitch writing a very violent, you know, graphic scene of child abuse for an entire fucking chapter. And then you have her write shit in the book that, like, literally the main character says, you know, all the people in my class says it's dystopia core or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Why is it had to have a little bit of a smut as a treat? No, I've seen sex scenes in YA. I wouldn't necessarily lodge anything with explicit smut under YA. I would lodge it under new adult, which is, like, generally for readers, like, 16 and up. YA, I feel, is stuff where it's, like, fade to black. Like, implied sex scenes and things like that. Like, the door closed, blah, 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 and then next chapter, and they've done with the deed. Like, you don't actually read about it on the page. But if you read a little bit about it on the page, like, I would lodge that into new adult because it is, like, more suitable for the age range, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't hand a 16-year-old 50 Shades of Grey, but they're checking that shit out at the library themselves. This might be a dumb question, but what's the difference between smut and explicit sex scenes? It's all the same. It's all the same. I mean, smut is just, like, you know, the fancy literary, you know, sprinkly term for erotica. But I would say erotica is more like porn without plot, and smut kind of has some tucked in there a little bit as a treat. Never heard of classification new adult before, to be honest. I remember YA being targeted at 16 plus. Yeah, no, I think new adult is a rather new thing, actually, because I hadn't heard about it until, like, a couple years ago. But young adult, like, it would be, like, stories, like, The Hunger Games is, like, YA, right? And The Hunger Games, I think, is suitable for a 10-year-old to read, because I read that shit when I was young as hell, but, like, I don't know, maybe, like, age ranges of, like, generally, like, 10 to 15, and then, like, new adult, it's, like, 16 to 18-ish. I could be full of shit, but that's just kind of, like, what I would classify it as a parent, but I'm not a parent, so give your kids the porn if you want. I mean, I was reading porn on Wattpad at 16, so who gives a fuck anyways? My mom bought me, like, all the True Blood books on a goddamn vacation in Tampa. So, the world is your oyster. Read all the porn in the world you want. A big thing, too, is, like, I talked about this yesterday, is, new adult is 18 to 29. You're full of shit. I've been in this adult game for 10 fucking years. I got a high school graduation coming up. You are not telling me I'm a new adult, bruh. What the fuck? Like, pause. Pause. 18 to 29? There's no way. Holy fuck. That's not... See, no. No. They're lying. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're lying. Like, it may be what Wikipedia says, but you know what they say. Don't cite from Wikipedia. Even though Wikipedia is a really good source. So I mentioned this yesterday. Is like, this went through a publishing house, which is why I have an extreme issue with the writing. Is nobody picked up any of, like, anything. No plot holes, no errors, no, fucking just anything that would have made the story a more enjoyable reading experience, a more fluid one at least. Like, nobody actually, like, got on the phone with this bitch and was like, we need to tone down the TikTok language. Like, I'm sorry, like, we're trying to appeal to adults here. So maybe it's just me, because, like, I'm 27, 28 this year in July, and I am firmly aged out of a lot of slang these days. I still do not know what skibbity means. But if she wrote skibbity in this book, I would firmly believe that she knew what it meant because she frequented TikTok a lot. I don't have TikTok. Unfortunately, I'm with the boomers on that one. I feel like no one read this book, not even the author, not even the fucking author, and yet she has a second one coming out. She's got a fucking sequel. Examples of books in the new adult genre include Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass, Jennifer L. Armentrout's Wait for You and Blood of Ash series, Jamie McGuire's Beautiful Disaster, Colleen Hoover's Slams. Pause. Did y'all hear Colleen Hoover is allegedly retiring? Thank fuck, bro. Oh, my Lanta. Yes, get that bitch off the shelves at Target. Fuck. I am so tired of seeing that. Oh, positive mental attitude. Okay. Cora Carmack's Losing It, Kendall Ryan's The Impact of You, Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue. Hey, that's a BL, ain't it? Right? They got like an Amazon movie. Haven't caught the stream in a long bit. Hey, welcome. I'm bitching about a smut book I read. But also Colleen Hoover gets published too. You know what? Maybe I should do my next one on a Colleen Hoover book. I've got a lot of words to say about her. Isn't this author a fucking mask too? Yeah, it's like they're aliens. And they're trying to disguise it because one has two A's in the name and the other just has one. But I'm catching on, dude. I'm catching on. It's a fucking psyop, I'm telling you. It's like the birds, they're all drones. The masses, also drones. Can't wait for all the plot holes in the second book. I'm gonna read that shit in like 5 hours flat and then immediately go live. Oh, my Lanta. Never heard of Colleen Hoover, but the picture they chose for a Wikipedia page kind of sets some expectations. Does she look like an old white woman? Hold on. I get it. Let me not be mean. Positive mental attitude. Yeah, so the book by Colleen Hoover that got really popular is called It Ends With Us, I think, which is not like The Last of Us, the video game. It's actually a book that is a fictional rendition of her own parents' abusive relationship. It got a movie recently, and everyone loves this book. Another 5-star banger on Goodreads, and I gotta say, it's the worst piece of... Runa, get your fucking butt away from my thingy. Worst piece of shit I've ever picked up in my life. That's all I'm going to say about it. Like all of these novels, though, Blood of Hercules, I fully expect to become a Netflix original. Like, this entire book is built for TV and or movie. I shit you not, if I see an article by the end of the year that says some, like, fucking Netflix has signed the rights for the Blood of Hercules, like, TV show... Oh, I'm gonna be screaming from the fucking hilltops on Twitter.com. I will be yelling. I will be yodeling. It'll be the fucking Sound of Music, but worse, okay? Probably already in the works. I haven't seen anything about it. But, you know, to be determined. To be determined. I need to hear you talk about Colleen Hoover now. Dude, anytime I'm in Target and I'm looking at books to pick up, and there's just a full fucking shelf of Colleen Hoover books. My husband goes, oh my God, look, it's your favorite author. I like literally as loud as I can get without being an obnoxious white woman in Target. I go, I fucking hate that hoe. And then I walk away. Because I can't fucking handle it. Ugh. And then, like, people also said It Ends With Us is like a smut book. I'm like, are y'all fucking stupid? Do we just have, like, different requirements on, like... I don't know, man. I don't know. People said ACOTAR was a fucking fairy porn book. I said y'all are, like, the weakest willed, like, vanilla motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Go read Haunting Adeline or some shit, dude. Like, I don't know. What's your opinion on Anne Rice's works? Who the fuck is Anne Rice? Hold on. Name sounds vaguely familiar. Vampire Chronicles? I don't think I know these books. Hey, she went to Berkeley. Influences: Charles Dickens, Virginia Woolf, John Milton, Ernest Hemingway, William Shakespeare, the Bronte sisters, Jean-Paul Sartre, Henry James, Arthur Conan Doyle, H. Rider Haggard, and Stephen King as influences of her work. And she writes porn? Interview with a Vampire Lady? Oh! My husband loves that show. He's like, I love the gay vampire show. I'm sorry, I've actually never seen the show. I think I read the book a very, very long time ago, but I retained none of it, if I'm being quite honest. I think it was when I was in, like, my vampire girly stage, but listen, I was one of those hoes in middle school / high school, okay? I was not like the other girlies girly. So I liked the vampire stuff, the edgy, emo, scene kid vampire stuff, but I refused vehemently to read Twilight. I said, that shit's lame. Listen, true story. I'm not even lying. I wish I was making this up because it haunts me daily. There were these girls that came up to me in the lunchroom. This was in intermediate school, okay? They come up to me in the lunchroom and they go, are you on Team Edward or are you on Team Jacob? Okay, you know what I said to them? I said neither. I don't read that trash. And I went back to eating my Uncrustable, okay? This haunts me daily. I hate everything about it. It was so fucking bad, bro. And here I am. I watched and I read Twilight as an adult, and now I watch it monthly. I watch the Twilight Saga monthly. It's so fucking bad. I'm surprised you don't know her. Every woman my age has read her Smut Light. Is it really Smut Light? I don't know. Maybe I'll read a couple. Her son also writes gay erotica. Good for him. Pop the fuck off. Some would say it's karma. It truly is karma. Like, it truly is karma. For the smut readers in the chat, did y'all read these on physical or digital platform? I think I'm the only smut reader in the chat. And I'm on the screen. It's very upsetting. It's not. Y'all read what you want. Physical. Well, actually, that's a lie. Primarily digital. I have Kindle Unlimited, and you would be so surprised how much smut is on Kindle Unlimited. It goes insane in the membrane. That's why I read 160 books last year. So, and I pick up physicals of the ones that I like as shelf trophies. I primarily buy special editions with, like, sprayed edges and shit, which, pause, special edition of Twilight's coming out because the book is 20 years old. So they've got a very nice box set of special edition, all 5 books, including Midnight Sun, with sprayed edges, a nice slip case, and then an additional special edition of just the base Twilight book. That's all floral, and, like, the sprayed edges are of Edward and Bella, and they tried so hard to not make Edward on the sprayed edges look like Robert Pattinson, but he looks like Robert Pattinson with, like, dick-sucking lips, if you know what I mean. So, what can you do? Now Robert's fan base is mostly men. Love that for him. I do. I love that for him. He's going and living his best life in Korea at the moment. He's like an Aegyo king. Oh my god, he is hamming it the fuck up over there. More than regular Robert Pattinson? No, Robert Pattinson normal has, hold on, let me make sure I'm not talking out my ass. Robert Pattinson. Let's see 2025, okay? Not that weird picture of him in his tracksuit in a kitchen. No, see, Robert Pattinson normal has like white people lips, like the missing upper lip type beat. But like this is Robert Pattinson with full upper lip. Baby girl got lip fillers. He's got dick sucking lips. Okay, let me pull up the thingy. Fuck. Okay, it's $40 for this book, by the way, but I have the Barnes and Noble's like premium thingy. So I get it 10% off. It's goated. How come they? Oh, here we go. It's this. Sorry, I had to put it on the PowerPoint. Are those not dick sucking lips, y'all? Like, those are BL lips, and he's the bottom, I'm afraid. Like, it's crazy. Like, they tried so hard to not make him look like Robert Pattinson, but alas. And they did a good job of not making her look like Kristen Stewart. Like, she looks nothing like Kristen Stewart, because Kristen Stewart also has white people lips, but like worse. But they copy pasted the lips for each other. Like, truly, like, they just, like, the lips are the same. I'm crying, dude. How do y'all kiss? It's like two blowfish. Oh, what's crazy is I loved his Batman movie. I really did. It's a very Western porn cartoon draw. Yeah, they kind of gave him that. They kind of gave him that for sure. I'm kind of keen to see the new movie Robert Pattinson has coming out. Is it Mickey 17? Because he looks like a silly little guy. He's like actually such a good actor. I fuck with his shit firmly. Okay, let me wrap this up real quick. Oh, one of the other things I hated about this book was the author doesn't know how to execute a time skip. Like, not even like a lazy, like several days ... or like just cutting, using a new like header or a new chapter and then doing like several days later or several hours later. She like literally says shit like time warped. Holy shit. Is that like a Rocky Horror Picture Show reference? Because like, what the fuck do you mean? Time warped. Like, by how long? I don't get it. Like, was she in a coma for 6 months, or are we talking like 30 minutes later and she just dissociated and looked at the wall? Because been there, but we need to know, because this is important. This is very important. By the convenience of my writing, exactly. The only thing this author knows how to execute is the English language. Even then, it gives me pause, because like the way the book was written was just like not like anything I've ever read before. Like, Girly Pop would do like a sentence, line break, new sentence, line break, new sentence, line break, paragraph of exposition, line break, new sentence, line break, exposition, line break, new sentence, and so on. Like, who the fuck writes like that? Like, that's light novel writing at best. Like, genuinely, that is the type of like writing fluidity I expect in the light novels I edit. Because they work in that sense. But a lot more like Western literature has thicker paragraphs for exposition. Like, it's not just like, I saw this recently, and I don't know if you guys have seen this among other people who read. Sorry, I gotta put my leg up in my chair because shit's getting serious when we talk. Literacy rates are going down. We all know this. But it's especially true for people who read romance and like romantasy and things like that. They don't like reading the exposition. Like I've seen several tweets where people talk about the only thing that they read from their novels is the dialogue. And it's kind of like, what? Like, what do you mean you only read the dialogue? Like, how are you picking up anything that's happening in the book by just the dialogue? How do they get off this? Shut the fuck up. And that's what I'm saying, is it's like, in like smut in general, it's kind of like, I've read some very poorly written smut, and it makes me want to write like an article on how to write smut, because these hoes just don't know how to do it sometimes. They don't know that you need to appeal to all the senses and things like that in literature. And it's not just in smut, you know? It's in like really any like aspect of just literature in general. Like you want the reader to be able to visualize. You want to compare it to familiar like sounds or scents or, you know, just visual things that like these hoes have imaginations. Like they need to use it. Like do that and help the imagination. But like a lot of these authors are not doing anything like that. Like whether it's a fucking sex scene or otherwise. It's just like wham bam, thank you ma'am. And if you're only reading the dialogue, that's exactly what you're getting, the wham bam, thank you ma'am. Because a lot of the smut that I've read, like the actual smut portion, there's no real dialogue to it. Unless, you know, they're like having the sexy talk in the middle of it, you know? But like, other than that, it's kind of like it's all done through like just the words, bruh, not the dialogue. Like just so these hoes are like skipping like full chapters of like actual like plot and things like that. Because some of these books do have plot. Okay, don't fucking come for me. Some of them fucking have plot. But like you're just not getting any of it. Like how do y'all do that? Because I can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, I love this book, 5 stars, you know, whatever, and I only read like the dialogue. When I can visualize the room, character's outfit, yeah, it's based, right? Like you can actually like see things, and it's just good. Imagination is so fucking poggers. You know, I've come to realize over the years, nobody really knows how to get men horny. All porn is targeted at men who are already horny. Wait, okay, you might be onto something. So there's barely any smut targeted to men that has a smooth transition from plot to sex. Have you read smut written by women? Or have you read smut written by men? Holy fuck, what is that one passage from a smut written by a man that like said some shit like the girl said that her ovaries were fuzzy, and then she was like, oh my god, that means I'm ovulating. And then the guy was just like, oh yes, her eggs are dropping, now I can fill her with my seed and she will become ripe with child type shit. Oh dude, it was like it was some of the worst shit that I have ever fucking read in my life. Her boobs boobed boobily, exactly. Yo, her honkin' donkin' badonkers just fucking badonked everywhere in that tiny little shirt with her tiny little waist. She was petite, but she had a massive fucking rack and a fat ass. And she was also 5'2" and 95 pounds. Like, holy fuck, dude. She's unhealthy. Somebody get her a cheeseburger.